Ines Rea, Hound Unit, commencing operations.
Hey up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Sorry for the delay on this week's Ines build. I have been having some problems getting the game to launch on my PC. Not sure why, but it's working now. So, let's crack on with the video. As always, feel free to use the timestamps in the description if you so wish, and maybe like and subscribe. So, with that out the way, let's take a look at some factors to this build. Just like our Serena build, there is several things we need to address and add to our build in order to get the most damage out of Ines. 1. MP. Ines's damage scales from her max MP, so it is very important we get that as high as possible for maximum damage. 2. Cooldown. Cooldown is equally as important as we want to spam her abilities as fast as we can. 3. Range. Bigger the range, the better of clearing out trash mobs. 4. Crit damage. Crit hit damage. This should be sat third on this list, as this works well with the MP damage scaling, so keep an eye out for any Ancestors mods with crit hit damage, MP and cooldown. Perfect if you have all three. And 5. Crit hit rate. In this build you will max out your crit rate, so any Ancestors mods are not needed for this. The first three are the most important, as Ines's damage scales off a max MP. As you can see, I have a high MP pool without using any Ancestors modules. However, if you do have an Ancestors mod that helps with the 5 things I've mentioned, then stick that on and see how you do. Now, to how Ines works, you will need to use your first ability several times to use your damage stack, as you can see with this icon here. Each time I use my first ability, it increases, and so does my damage. You would have also noticed on the E Buster you will have standard rounds. Next to them you will see ammo in green. For every hit you do, you will gain these rounds, allowing you to do more damage, but be sure not to miss, as you will lose the damage buff they give you. Alternatively, you can use the Secret Garden or the Blue Beetle for a stat stick. So, let's look at the build then, eh? As you can see, I'm using the Tingling Mechanics Reactor with skill critical hit damage and skill cooldown, with a boost to our electric skill power ratio and tech skill power. Now for the external components. I'm opting for a 2-piece set of Ascending Armory solely for the minus 6.5% skill cost reduction, and a 2-piece Hunter set for the minus 4% skill cooldown. Now moving on to mods. The Transcendent mod is Time of the Hunting Hounds, MP conversion for our 36.5% cooldown, emergency measures for a boost to our crit hit rate and damage, skill insight for 115.4% more crit hit rate, MP accelerant for skill duration and max MP, skill expansion for range, mid-air manoeuvring for grappling, skill concentration for the big boost in crit hit damage at 115.4%, front lines again for a boost our crits, shield conversion for more MP, enlightenment for the 15.2% MP, nimble fingers for cooldown, and finally for our trigger mod, death by 1,000 cuts. If you have an Ancestors mod with a higher percent than the shield conversion, then swap it out for that. Now for the Arche Tuning. As you can see, I've gone with all the MP nodes to get the maximum MP from the Arche board, with 3 HP nodes just to give us a little bit more survivability. Be sure to grab the cooldown node so we can spam our abilities, and I've gone Electric Corrosion for the Mutant Cell. Now the Inversion Reinforcements. Spatial Dominance for the skill range, Selective Neurostimulation for max MP recovery, and finally Entropy Alignment, as we'll be using the E-Buster weapon that I'll be moving on to now. These are my cores that I've equipped, and as you can see, I've not yet fully maxed out my weapon, so I need to farm the rest. These are the mods I've equipped. Feel free to pause the video if you wish to copy my build. And finally, I'll be using the lovely Husky as our fellow for the MP recovery. And that is it. If you like the video, like always, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.